Hey, what's up, Dean? Sear Performance. We are at the shop and worked my butt off today. Got the whole Holley wired. So I got a couple of things out here. I have to take care of the fuel pressure and the oil pressure. That's it. But up in there, you can see the input output harness, but then you can see the block where the harness goes through. You can see the head of the screws right there. So that block worked out good, but what a pain in the butt it was to get up in there. And then this is the battery harness for the Holley here. So it runs down along the frame, crosses, whoops. It comes down the frame on this side, goes behind the cross member for the transmission, back up and over the frame above the axle, and then I poked it through where the other harness was. So you can see the shinier one is the Holley one, and it's directly wired to the battery. Then the small 12-volt wire is this one here, battery. I opened up that panel box down there and put it on one of the lugs. You can see where it goes down and goes in with the other wire. That's done. Ground is on the back of the head right there. I'm gonna pull that out a little bit, make it look a little neater, like that. The MSD distributor, I cut the plug off from over here, plugged it in, wired it up to the Holley. That's this harness here. I had to extend the wires a little bit, no big deal. That is done. Then I came in here and found you've got spare ignition too. So that is now my Holley trigger for 12 volt Keon. You also got a spare battery, which is kind of cool. Then you've got a spare ground, which they have going to one of the flashers. I assume it's like for LED flasher. So that's pretty neat. Then I got this plug here for the MSD box. So this is the points trigger. Here's my battery. So here's everything plugged in. The green wire right there, the small one going down, comes under the fuse box. And what I did was, where this fuel pump relay is, I popped the 12 volt trigger out and I put the Holley fuel pump feed into the 12 volt trigger. Then that didn't work. This has been the last hour and a half, probably 2 hours. That didn't work, so I started tracing and cutting the harness open and going up, and noticed that these two wires went up, and I got no continuity from the relay to the fuse, from the relay to this plug. No continuity at all. So instead of doing it thinking, I just started searching. Well, then I remembered he has the book, and there is assembly manual. So I went to this page here, and I noticed the layout is quite different than his, but there's two toggle switches right there. He has one. There's maybe there's even three. Oh, starter button. Okay, that's where his is, kind of. 4 fan pilot light, that's there. Electric fan override, he does have that toggle switch right there, number 5. And then going down, wiper switch, headlight switch. His are a little different. I think his are on the steering wheel. So I just kept going down, and I was like, oh no, that ain't it. Oh, look at that, electric fuel pump switch, number 20. That toggle switch, that is not in the dashboard. And I was like, oh, you son of a gun. So it would be over here, but next to that one, that toggle switch there, and then there's the electric start. So I put my head underneath and I start looking, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it. These are blue for lights, black, no idea. And then I peeked over here and I said, wait, that's a red with a black stripe. That other one's a red with a black stripe. Well, it's a cigarette lighter. Oh, you son of a gun. What does that say? Back in there. Fuel switch. So these two wires right here are why I could not get the relay to turn on. But I'm not going to run all the way up, all the way back, like you do a voltage drop. So basically, I took this plug, I took this wire, clipped it up in here, and then clipped the other one going up in here, and I connected them. Because this is one side of the switch, and the other side of the switch is to the relay. So I just connected those together, heat shrunk them, and haven't even tried anything yet. I already updated the ECU, loaded in a bass tune with all the magnetic pickup, all that stuff all set, and I do get RPM signal. Let's see if I get fuel pump. Yep. So it's obviously dry right now, but you can see all the green and then the one blue on the end. So tomorrow I'm gonna come with 5 gallons of fuel, put fuel in the tank, get the system primed. I think I'm gonna have a leak on the regulator where the Allen head is. So I might take that down, take that Allen head out, seal that up, put it back in, and then I got to put a gauge on that line. So I'll probably do the transducer so that the Holley sees fuel pressure, or you could log fuel pressure, but you could look at fuel pressure through the Holley. So I'll probably do that. I'll do all that tomorrow. I got the fitting right here. So it's the -6 female to -6 male with the little N1/8 MPT for a gauge, or I may just put a gauge, make it look old school, but whatever, because the gauge, you could always look at the gauge and see what the pressure is, but I need to know what the pressure is so I could set the regulator, blah blah blah. But anyways, I'm headed out. A little bit of a frustrating day, but I got very, very far. All I got to do is hang the ECU, run a rubber hose, a vacuum line to the throttle body to the ECU for map signal. I didn't have a long enough piece, so I got to pick some up on the way in, and then we should be able to fire it up. So that's it for today. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos, leave me a comment, and as always, have a good day.